Ladies and gentlemen, you know, sometimes in life, it feels real tempting to pull someone aside and say, "Hey man, let me tell you about my problems." Feels good for a moment, might even get you a pat on the back. But here's the truth: most folks are too busy carrying their own load to carry yours too. You see, life's not a complaint department. It's a proving ground. You don't get points for talking about the mountain, you get points for climbing it. Every time you choose to work through it rather than whine through it, you build a little more muscle where it counts in your soul. And believe me, people respect the man who fights his battles in silence and lets his victories make all the noise. Protect your energy, guard your spirit. Not everybody who listens is listening to help, and not everybody who smiles wants you to win. The world honors results, not excuses. So, if you got a problem, good. That means you're alive. That means you've been chosen for a bigger story. Solve it, grow through it, and when you're standing on the other side, you'll have a story worth telling. And folks worth telling it to. Self-reliance is about building a deep, unshakable trust within yourself. It's about standing tall when nobody else is watching, nobody else is cheering, and nobody else even knows what you're going through. It's choosing to become your own sanctuary, your own safe place, and your own solution. When life throws you into the storm, self-reliance is the anchor that keeps you from drifting away. It doesn't mean you don't need people, but it means you don't depend on people to rescue you every time the waters rise. It's knowing that advice can help, but answers come from within. It's understanding that the weight you carry today will become the strength you wear tomorrow. Self-reliance asks you to be honest with yourself, brutally honest, to look in the mirror and say, "This is on me." Not in a way that feels heavy or punishing, but in a way that feels powerful, like holding the steering wheel of your own life. It's the habit of asking yourself what you can do next, not what someone else can fix for you. It's the discipline of getting up when you fall, wiping your own tears, tightening your own laces, and stepping back into the arena without waiting for applause or sympathy. It's about building a life where your peace doesn't get held hostage by how other people treat you, where your happiness doesn't depend on someone else's permission, and where your progress isn't slowed down by anyone's lack of belief. Self-reliance teaches you that strength isn't loud, it's quiet. It shows up in the decisions you make when nobody's looking. It shows up in the patience you practice when the world moves too fast. It shows up in the courage you summon when your legs are tired and the road still stretches on for miles. It's not about pretending you're fine when you're hurting. It's about knowing that even in your pain, you still have the ability to take one more step, one more call, one more try. And somewhere in that persistence, you start realizing that you are your own greatest ally, not because you have to be, but because you chose to be. Selective sharing is not about hiding who you are. It's about honoring your story enough to know not everyone deserves to hear it. It's understanding that your struggles, your dreams, your fears, these are sacred things. And putting them in front of the wrong audience can leave you feeling more broken than before. Not everybody you meet will celebrate your vulnerability. Some will misuse it, some will misunderstand it, and some will pretend to care only to satisfy their own curiosity. Selective sharing teaches you to be wise, to weigh your words before you release them, and to ask yourself whether the person listening has earned the right to hear this part of your journey. It's easy to want to vent, to spill your emotions at the feet of anyone who's willing to listen, but real wisdom comes in choosing who you allow into your inner battles, not because you're ashamed, but because you value your healing too much to let it be dissected by careless hands. Selective sharing is a form of self-respect. It's recognizing that you don't have to broadcast every setback or announce every disappointment. It's learning that healing often happens in private, that some of the most important growth you'll ever experience will happen away from the noise. in places no one else sees. And when you choose carefully who you share your soul with, you protect the fire inside you from being extinguished by doubt, judgment, or misunderstanding. Selective sharing also teaches patience, the patience to hold your own emotions until the right moment, the right person, the right environment comes along. It means you don't hand your heart to people just because they ask. You wait, you observe, you listen to what's not being said just as much as what is. And when you do decide to open up, you do it knowing that the one listening sees your wounds not as weaknesses, but as the battles you're winning every single day. Selective sharing helps you build deeper, truer connections, the kind that aren't based on pity or gossip, but on mutual respect, understanding, and strength that runs deeper than words. Protecting your energy means realizing that not every battle deserves your attention, not every invitation requires your RSVP, and not every conversation is worth your breath. Your energy is a limited resource, a sacred well that fuels your dreams, your purpose, your very ability to show up for life. When you let every small disturbance, every critic, every disappointment drain you, you leave yourself too tired to do the work that actually matters. Protecting your energy is an act of discipline and respect, not just for yourself, but for the mission you're here to fulfill. It's saying no without guilt. It's walking away without explanation. It's knowing that peace is more valuable than being right, and silence is sometimes louder than any argument. It's learning to recognize the people, the places, and the patterns that rob you of your light. It's noticing how you feel after certain conversations lighter or heavier. It's paying attention to the commitments you make. Are they fueling you or draining you dry? Protecting your energy means setting boundaries that don't have to be justified, only honored. It means being careful where you place your focus, because wherever you focus, your energy flows, and whatever you feed grows. If you keep feeding distractions, complaints, and negativity, you'll find yourself starved for the strength you need to chase your real goal. Protecting your energy is a daily decision. It's waking up and choosing your priorities before the world chooses them for you. It's understanding that chaos will always exist, but you don't have to participate in it. It's filtering what you consume, not just in food, but in news, conversations, environments, relationships. It's realizing that every time you argue with someone who isn't even trying to understand you, every time you over-explain yourself to someone determined to misunderstand you, you lose a little more of what makes you powerful. Protecting your energy requires a strong mind, a quiet spirit, and a fierce loyalty to your peace over other people's approval. Resilience is not just the ability to survive difficult times. It's the ability to allow difficulty to shape you without allowing it to define you. It's about getting knocked down and deciding not once, but over and over again that you are going to get back up, even when getting back up feels like the hardest thing in the world. Resilience means bending but never breaking, hurting but never giving up, losing but never losing heart. It's built quietly over years, through late nights when no one's cheering, early mornings when no one's watching, and heavy moments when no one would blame you for walking away. Resilience is that fire inside you that refuses to be put out, no matter how many storms come to test it. It's easy to be strong when everything is going right. It's easy to smile when the road is smooth. But real resilience shows up when the road crumbles, when the people you counted on walk away, when the plans you carefully built fall apart in your hand. Real resilience is forged in the moments you feel most alone, most uncertain, most out of your depth. It's in those moments that you choose to keep moving forward, even if you have to crawl. You choose to believe there's still purpose inside the pain. You choose to find a way when the way forward isn't obvious. Resilience isn't about pretending things don't hurt. It's about refusing to let the hurt have the final word. Resilience teaches you that loss is not the end, that failure is not fatal, that a setback is nothing more than a setup for a stronger comeback. Every time you face something you thought you couldn't handle and survive it, you stretch your capacity. You build a kind of invisible armor around your soul, not armor that makes you hard or bitter, but armor that makes you wise and steady. Resilience is patience when you want to rush. It's hope when you want to quit. It's stubborn faith when all logic tells you to let go. It's trusting that what's broken can be rebuilt, and what's lost can lead to something even greater. Resilience doesn't shout. It doesn't always look heroic. Often, it's silent, ordinary, unseen. It's showing up at the job you hate because you have a bigger dream you're funding. It's holding your head up in a crowd when your heart is breaking in private. It's forgiving people who never apologized. It's starting over again and again and again because you know that forward is the only direction worth moving. Resilience is carrying the lessons with you, even when you leave the pain behind. It's building something out of the ashes, not because anyone told you to, but because you decided your story wasn't finished yet. Resilience asks you to remember who you are, even when the world tries to tell you differently. It asks you to stay connected to the vision you carry deep inside your chest, even when the journey there is longer, harder, and lonelier than you expected. It reminds you that growth and suffering often walk hand in hand, that the greatest victories are born out of the greatest struggles, and that even when you feel like you're losing, as long as you're still standing, you're winning something greater than comfort. You're winning character, letting results speak means choosing action over explanation, progress over promises, and proof over empty words. It's understanding that the loudest statements you can ever make won't come from your mouth, they'll come from your life. In a world where everyone is talking, posting, boasting, and broadcasting their intentions, there's a rare and powerful kind of individual who simply gets to work. No need for loud declarations, no need for endless explanations. They let their success, their growth, their perseverance tell the story. And that story is always louder, clearer, and more credible than anything they could have said with words alone. When you let your results speak, you take your energy away from trying to convince people and invest it fully into becoming undeniable. You realize that not everyone will believe in you at the start. Some will doubt you, some will dismiss you, and some will even root against you. But it's not your job to fight for their approval. It's your job to create results that they cannot ignore. Results don't leave room for debate. Results don't ask for permission. Results are the proof that the work was real, the commitment was true, and the vision was stronger than any obstacle that tried to stand in the way. Letting results speak requires patience. It demands that you be okay with being underestimated for a while. It means you don't waste your breath trying to explain your dreams to people who can't see them yet. You don't argue about your ideas, you build them. You don't defend your path, you walk it. And when the time is right, when the harvest comes, when the fruits of your labor finally rise into the light, all the doubts, the criticisms, the dismissals fade into the background. The results will do the talking. The results will silence the noise. The results will write the kind of truth that no one can erase. Letting results speak also teaches you humility. It reminds you that true power doesn't need to brag or seek constant validation. It's comfortable in the quiet. It's confident in the shadows. You don't need to tell the world you're working hard. Your growth, your discipline, your outcomes will show it when the time is right. And because you didn't rush to prove yourself prematurely, your foundation will be stronger, your character will be deeper, and your success will be built to last. It's about putting your head down and doing the work, day after day, without needing applause. It's about building a foundation so strong that by the time people finally notice, you're already miles beyond the place where they last doubted you. It's about knowing that noise fades, but real results leave a legacy. Letting your results speak shifts the focus from talking about change to being the change. It moves you from announcing plans to executing them, from dreaming in public to building in private. It's a commitment to mastery over popularity, impact over impressions, and fulfillment over recognition. Life isn't about broadcasting every problem or chasing validation. It's about building strength where no one sees and letting your results speak for themselves. When you learn to rely on yourself, protect your energy, and share your journey only with those who truly deserve it, you step into a power that's quiet but unstoppable. Resilience becomes your second skin, teaching you that every setback is simply preparing you for a greater comeback. You stop wasting your breath explaining your dreams and instead start living them. Every scar becomes a lesson, every silence becomes a strategy, and every victory becomes a quiet, undeniable roar that echoes far beyond anything words could have said. True growth happens in the shadows, far away from the spotlight, where self, discipline, faith, and relentless action shape the future. In the end, it's not about telling the world your plans, it's about showing them your results.